Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of Port, a program that has been dedicated to bring Ghana's port and maritime industry closer to you closer to the port and maritime industry of Ghana. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, Goyle Company Limited, Serene Insurance and Ghana Link, and it is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, over the past week, the world celebrated the International Women's Day. In light of this, women in Ghana's port and maritime industry, shipping industry, converged in the port of Takoradi in a program that was organized by the Women in Shipping and Trading Association Ghana, that is Western Ghana. Let us have a look at what transpired there. We'll be back with more news. The director of the port of Tema, Sandra Opoku, has encouraged women in the maritime and shipping industry to take part in the IMaH SheEO leadership program, which is focused on equipping women with leadership skills and confidence to enable them participate in decision making in the industry. This, according to her, is a way of encouraging gender equality in the maritime industry for a sustainable tomorrow. Speaking at the celebration of the International Women's Day organized by Women's International Shipping and Trading Association Ghana in the Western region, she indicated that having women in positions of authority is crucial, but that must not come on the back of seafaring experience, education and training.
Women, I encourage you that you have to take your own place at the table. Do not expect to have the red carpet rolled out for you just because you are a woman. You have to prepare yourself, and then when the opportunity comes, you take your place.
She said it is imperative that women's role in maritime activities are advanced by ensuring there are opportunities for them to be educated and gain experience in maritime activities.
Efforts to ensure safety and support for female seafarers and infrastructure changes that will ensure women's physical security on board ships are also needed. Most of the time when you go on the vessels, it's only just one woman when you have more than 20 crew members.
President of Western Ghana, Jamila Jaula Mahama, acknowledged that in order to harness gender fairness in the nation's maritime trade, women have to be allowed to play significant roles.
Women who go to sea must gain multi-level and multi-sector experience, such as executive and engineering positions, rather than being limited to entry or low-paid occupations. Women can do it. We have us all over the place.
She expressed joy over the rise in the number of women receiving education and training required for careers such as marine piloting, which entails steering ships into ports and harbors. The Western Regional Minister, Kwabena Dakomenta, said it is imperative for Ghana to adopt measures that will promote greater women participation in Ghana's maritime domain by stifling all forms of discrimination and traits of inequality to enable women attain high positions within the corporate ladder of the maritime industry.
There is ample evidence based on numerous studies that investing in women is the most effective way to lift communities, companies and even countries. Countries with more gender equality have better economic outcomes and impact.
Still celebrating women, the Port of Tema put together this piece to highlight the successes of a couple of women who are excelling incredibly well in their fields of work. Let's take a look at this too. Ghana's biggest commercial port, the Port of Tema, has over the years blazed a trail for women participation in the maritime industry, one that is often regarded as a preserve for men. The port has recently seen women entrusted with various leadership roles at the port, spanning operational and administrative, among others. Ghana's busiest port has for the first time a female director, Sandra Opoku, who runs the day-to-day activities of the port. In light of the recently celebrated International Women's Day, we would hear how these women have achieved success in their fields of work.
Jubilee is known to be the end for all containerized cargo, with every vehicle that is in container needs to come through Jubilee, both import and transit. And so for smooth transaction in terms of clearance, my job to ensure that clients do not go through so much to clear their cargo. Aside that, before Jubilee, I was in charge of Terminal 1. That is where the vessel operation is, and so I've gained a lot of experience. I was in charge of the container depot, and with the little of dealing with people, even with fishing harbor when I was the operations manager through and through, has been a sort of a guide as well for me to be able to know the essence of team play or dealing with people or managing people to get to where we are today.
For me, I'm a go-getter. When I have a task to perform, I go for it. And I'm guided by the fact that everything that we do will be accountable to it. Because port operations is a demanding area. I mean, it's a 24/7 job. And so for us, for me, for instance, you come to work and then you close in the night, because we do, for transit, we do about 85-86% of our deliveries on stuffing. And so what that means is that in the night, we work.
These gallant women have overcome stereotypes, battled the odds, and have on merit risen through the ranks at the very pinnacle of success in this male-dominated industry.
It is about commitment to duty.
Okay.
My commitment to duty, and the end where you need to know that you cannot do it all alone.
Right.
You need the match-up of other people to do that.
I was telling somebody that our kind of job, you get to see results instantly. And so at the end of the day, you know if you achieved or not. Our job is time-bound, and we've had so many instances. If I can cite some of them. I remember years back, we encountered a center, I think it's a dialysis center, and then they wanted to take delivery of a container. And then at the point, you know, they mentioned to us that they were waiting for the container because people's lives depended on it. Such an instance, you serve them on time, and then you see that you have saved a soul.
Today, because of the strides of these professional women, aspiring young women have models to emulate to achieve success and bridge the glaring gender gap in this industry.
I remember when I joined GPHA some 24 years ago. I think we had just one person, one woman in charge of, I think she was in charge of personnel also. Yeah, then later within a year or two, some other, like Mrs. Toko, late, may her soul rest in perfect peace, Mrs. Tokono and co joined. So it is true that it is widened and there's more room for improvement. And so my advice to the young ones is that they should pursue excellence, and success is guaranteed.
Whatever you put your mind to, it is achievable. Things may not look bright now. You may think that maybe you do not have anybody taking you to school. Maybe take it from me. When I started work, I was not a graduate, but in the course of work, I take advantage of weekend schools, take advantage of evening schools, and then improve upon yourself. And the little that is assigned to you, you work it well.
All right, so to dig deeper on the subject of women, we engaged none other than Dr. Emmanuel Kofi-Mbia, who is an industry veteran, to highlight and discuss the contributions of women in the shipping and maritime industry. Maritime law consultant and legal practitioner, Dr. Emmanuel Kofi-Mbia, has hinted that it is about time the International Maritime Organization turns to an African woman as Secretary General.
Very soon, there will be elections for the Secretary Generalship of the International Maritime Organization.
Yeah.
I am one of the crusaders, who believe that, look, it's time
For Africa?
for Africa and for a woman, for
Right.
that matter, to be Secretary General. And we want to champion that cause. and then let the world realize that it's not lip service. It's not about talking gender. It's not about gender mainstreaming in the air. It's about the realities on the ground. And therefore, when it comes to this, let us give the opportunity to women.
Dr. Mbia, who has previously served as the chairman of the legal committee of the IMO, underscored the need for the establishment of a deliberate strategic plan of action that supports calls for increased women participation at the decision-making level.
It is important that there is some awareness, there is some consciousness, there is something that we put in place, a plan, a program, having targets to say by this time, maybe in the next 10 years, this is where we want to get to. Unfortunately, those benchmarks we have not put in place.
He was speaking on Iron Port in the aftermath of the International Women's Day celebration. The industry veteran also called for all-encompassing plans that will harness the full potential of ordinary women contributing to the blue economy.
And you will see, predominantly women are involved in the marketing, in the processing of fish. But this is the area where poverty is endemic. You know, people are largely poor along the entire coastal belt. What mechanisms do we put in place such that we will harness the potential of women, such that we will support women, you know, where we want to do maybe micro finance arrangements, you know, for them, marketing arrangements, packaging arrangements, trying to do some export orientation for them, so that we move from where we are now to next levels, which would truly, I emphasize the word truly, empower women.
Dr. Kofi Mbia, a former chief executive of the Ghana Shippers Authority, heaped praise on women who have defied the odds and are continuing to excel in the shipping and maritime industry.
Golden Jubilee Terminal, GJT, you know,
that particular GJT slot was occupied first by Madam Esther Jebidonko, she was the first female terminal manager.
She was the first female, but before her, it was an expatriate. Who we put there. He was the one we put there. And I do recall that, you know, it was felt that, look, this is the preserve of men. I mean, you're talking equipment, you're talking about movement of machines, etc. This is typical operations.
The maritime law consultants, however, charged women to consider careers in the underexplored areas of the blue economy.
That maritime domain is not restricted only to the coastal zone or to the high seas, as it were, but also the things that link up on land. There are also areas in which ladies can venture. You know, we talk about ship repair, we talk about outboard motor repair, we are talking a lot about STEM these days. And this is one area that women can go into, and consequently, in the engineering area of the sea, they can play a very significant role.
All right, away from that, we also took the opportunity to analyze the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war on the global supply chain. Dr. Kofi Mbia had some interesting facts and projections to share. Let us take a listen to what he had to say. Maritime law consultant and legal practitioner Dr. Emmanuel Kofi Mbia has spelled doom for the global supply chain if the Russia-Ukraine war lingers on for a long time. According to him, the repercussions of the war on shipping is already being felt.
This does not portend good. And the little we are seeing now in terms of the stifling of global supply chains, what we are seeing with respect to, look at the price of oil. We were around 71 to 75. All of a sudden, we went to around $139 a barrel. You get me? And the impact is significant. It has affected almost every sphere of life. And if you take energy and energy supplies, if you take Europe, which relies on Russia for about 40% of its gas supplies, obviously, this is bound to have a telling effect on their economies.
Dr. Mbia said not only will oil and gas supplies be severely affected, but food supplies would suffer due to the Russia-Ukraine area providing a large chunk of the world's grain requirements. The maritime expert said the trickle-down effect of disruptions caused by the war is inevitable and African countries won't be spared.
A lot of the countries that you see are not too, if you like, well-to-do, and they are coming out of poverty, out of COVID. Just at the time when they are coming out of COVID, and trying to get the supply chains working again, it's when this war has come. And consequently, if you take Russia and the Ukraine, for example, they supply about 30%, of the world's wheat requirements.
Wheat.
Yes. Wheat requirements. Ukraine is about the 4th largest exporter of corn, and it's about the 5th largest exporter of wheat. So it's quite clear that when it comes to grains and things like that, some of which are used, like sunflower seed, for example, Russia and Ukraine alone, they do almost 70% of the one sunflower seed, and that is used for the oils and things, the cooking oils, etc., which we get. So sometimes you think you are far away, and therefore the impact is not on you, but you would realize that now a lot of the imports, processed foods, etc., that are coming to us are going to be expensive. Because remember, fuel price has gone up, and because fuel price has gone, bunkers have gone up. You mentioned already that freight rates have gone high as a result of COVID and the transportation of empties. But just as we're trying to stabilize the freight rates, this has happened. Freight rates have started going through the roof.
He revealed that currently the Black Sea Azov area has become an unsafe route, trapping 140 merchant ships. Dr. Kofi Mbia revealed that in the meantime, the International Maritime Organization has put in place some measures to mitigate the effects of the war on seafarers.
IMO Council met on the 10th and 11th of March. Today is 13th, so I think just about 2 days ago. 2 days ago, they had an emergency meeting which they considered a number of firstly they condemned the action of Russia, and then they also looked at a number of factors. Seafarers are regarded as the key players in the industry, and therefore that key player status need to be given to seafarers in their protection. There have been a few, if you like, missiles that have fallen on commercial vessels, in the Azov and then also in the Black Sea, injuring seafarers, and IMO is indeed very concerned, about this, and asking that the communication lines should be open so that seafarers can speak to their families. The blue safe zones should be open so that vessels which can leave should leave. Those which are in areas where they feel sea mines might be, they should be given opportunity to have safe passage. And it has called upon Ukraine and the IMO members to give support to Ukraine so that Ukraine can exercise its port state control, flag state control, coastal state control measures.
All right, those were the thoughts of Dr. Kofi Mbia on the ongoing war in Eastern Europe. Now let us take a listen to a few comments from viewers on the subjects discussed. This one is from John Intakrade. He says, from an agricultural perspective, if the conflict is prolonged, it could threaten the summer wheat harvest, which flows into bread, pasta, packaged foods for vast number of people, especially in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. My name is Desmond from Nungwa. I want to know the role Ghana plays in terms of producing seafarers. Hi Desmond. Dr. Mbia said the Ghana Maritime Authority, in collaboration with the Regional Maritime University, are doing a lot in terms of training and certification. However, because Ghana does not own vessels, it is hard for many to get sea time. My name is Lambert. My concern is about the welfare of the seafarers trapped in the Black Sea. Whose responsibility is it to get them out to reunite with their families? Hello Lambert. Dr. Mbia said the IMO is making efforts for the safe passage of merchant ships trapped in the area. All right, that's what we have so far on the Russia-Ukraine war from the maritime perspective. As time goes on, if there are any developments, we would update you. Iron Port returns after this break.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Gold Super XP Run 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Gold Super XP Run 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Gold Super XP Run 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Gold Super XP Run 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water, or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor,
I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance
for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
All right, welcome from the break. Now, the International Maritime Hospital, over the course of last week, embarked on a sensitization campaign in light of the World Glaucoma Week that was celebrated last week. Take a listen. Over the past week, the world marked the World Glaucoma Week to create awareness and mobilize efforts towards the elimination of blindness caused by the disease. Here in Ghana, the International Maritime Hospital in Tema has participated in the glaucoma awareness efforts with an intensive sensitization campaign at the hospital, the community level, and via electronic media. On Thursday, March 10, the hospital held a semi-virtual forum to educate health practitioners and the general public on the dangers of glaucoma and how to put an end to it. The CEO of the International Maritime Hospital, Dr. Akwesi Champong, said, with Ghana recording some of the highest numbers of glaucoma cases, the main objective is to encourage regular testing.
You have only one eye. I mean, what good is it if you can spend all your money to buy loads of stuff and you can't see them? So as much as it might be expensive, it's very cheaper for you to get your eyes checked. Not only your eyes. I mean, you can check your heart, you can check your blood pressure, you can check your diabetes. We need to take care of ourselves. I mean, you can't put price on human life. You can't put price on diseases that we can prevent. Because if you don't prevent it and you get ill, that is more costly.
Resident optometrist at IMaH, Dr. Isaac Isrifi, reviewed the causes and risk factors of glaucoma.
Now, some of the things or risk factors that can also be considered is age. As we are aging, it causes glaucoma. Conditions such as infections, uveitis, cataract, they all can cause glaucoma. And now, a major thing that is of public concern is hypertension and diabetes, which can also lead to glaucoma. because they are microvascular conditions which affect small blood vessels, and wherever small blood vessels are, it's going to affect the tissues that it supplies nutrients.
He emphasized that irreversible blindness is a reality when it comes to glaucoma and should not be considered as an option.
We all know you do self-test. When you wake up in the morning, you can do the test yourself, whereby you cover one eye to observe how the other eye sees. And then you can also as well cover the other eye and observe how the other eye also sees. When you do this and there is a little changes in your vision, if there is any blurry vision, you're going to easily pick it up and then report to the eye clinic for further examination.
All right, now let's take our lenses to the international scene and have a look at what is transpiring in the global shipping and maritime industry. International Container Terminal Services is expanding the capacity of its flagship Manila International Container Terminal by developing another berth to handle increasing volume demand and serve new generation container ships that can carry up to 18,000 TEUs. Described as a game changer for the city, ICTSI said Berth 8 is being constructed beyond a contractual obligation with the Philippine Ports Authority to allow the MICT to service very large container ships with ease and efficiency. Currently under design, Berth 8 will add a total of 400 meters quay and up to 12 hectares of yard area in 2 phases. Along with port equipment, the expansion is estimated to cost around $290 million. Germany's Meyer Group, a shipbuilding consortium comprising 3 shipyards in Europe, has formed a joint venture with Admaris Marine, a Finnish floating real estate company. The new company, headquartered in Turku, Finland, is named Meyer Floating Solutions and is focused on developing and manufacturing floating real estate. CEO at Meyer Floating Solutions, Kaj Kassan, said, "The new venture combines the strength of both companies and allows us to compete for the mega projects that are being built on the water." The industry of building real estate on water is expected to grow exponentially as it offers a whole new opportunity to develop property in valuable locations. It has become even more valuable to build on water than by water, according to the shipbuilder. It's time for the schedule of vessels that have berthed within the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. This brings us to the close of today's edition of Eye on Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, you can watch all Eye on Port content on our YouTube channel, Eye on Port. Remember to subscribe, like, and give us feedback. Thank you for watching.